Lady went on to Joe Rogan's podcast and had a conversation with him, and she said she schooled him. She was schooling all of us, actually, Americans, on things we do not understand about China. Let's get into it.
The Joe Rogan experience.
Right. And, right now also, like with the rise of China, they're also, starting to use, like, basically some form of, like, electronic tyranny, right? They're able to really censor the internet in a way that's been unprecedented. You can't access Facebook, Wikipedia, Twitter, none of these things that you and I can just like open on our apps can be accessed in China. So the way they just like control information and now exporting those same tools to other authoritarian countries around the world, that part to me is dangerous because...
Hold on. Did she say you cannot log on to Facebook or Twitter or YouTube in China? How in the world? Who's saying they can do that? The government telling them that they can't do that?
I think both Faisal and I came to America with this like, all right, this is the place that we can finally be ourselves and think for ourselves, right?
Yeah.
And we're starting to see that the whole world seems to be kind of going in the other direction.
So there was a shift in China, and the shift was initially a completely communist society, and now capitalism, at least in a monetary sense, is embraced.
Yeah,
and
market reforms, yes.
Yes, so there's this giant shift in what China actually is, which corresponds to this huge growth. Is it possible that in the future this shift could move on to other aspects of Chinese culture, like discourse or the way they view the government or even some form of democracy?
That was what we expected.
That's what we expected.
That was the theory. But the way China has behaved now, they call it socialism with Chinese characteristics. That's the official name of this long-drawn game to, institute market reforms, usher in riches for the middle class, lift a lot of people out of poverty, but in a very controlled way, in a way that's like, see, that's the thing about like Asian culture that people don't understand. It's that there's a fundamental difference between the China dream and the American dream.
See, and that right there, I hope people listen. I hope you're listening to this, especially the people out there who say, man, F the Constitution. I don't give a damn about no Constitution. F that. I want this. I want that. Not really comparing us to other companies that don't give you half the freedoms that you have here. There are many countries who don't give you half the freedoms that you have here. That's crazy, ain't it?
Right, and Xi Jinping has outlined what he thinks is the China dream. It's basically a top-down way to it's a goal, it's a national goal, and basically what they're trying to say is that, okay, we're going to lift a lot of people out of poverty, but your generation has to make sacrifices. It's not about the individual. It's about building a strong China, and implicitly also about ensuring that the CCP stays in power, the Chinese Communist Party stays in power. But it's that you might have to give up, personal sacrifices for the sake of China. Versus the American dream is bottom up. It's about your right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's it. And
y'all hear that? From the bottom up, your right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
If you do that, that's the American dream. And if you achieve a certain level of happiness, if you achieve, it's all like, it's bottom up. It's not centralized, and it's not something that the Chinese government is kind of trying to stuff down your throat. And China's willing to play the long game. So it is still a Leninist, Marxist government. Xi Jinping still believes in all of that. That's why it's still so totalitarian. But it's, they know that like the way to gain power in the world is to get rich. And they did it on on the back of trade with other countries through very unfair practices, actually, in many cases. So if you think about like how I think there are a lot of estimates of how much they've actually stolen from the United States in terms of intellectual property, corporate espionage. Now even like academia is being infected. So
how so?
Wow, she's telling a whole lot, man. I hope you don't plan on going back. Living back over there. She said, did she say that she lived over there at one point? She did say that, correct? Or am I assuming? Hopefully I'm not assuming and saying anything racist, because I I don't want to just put that on her because she's Asian, but she's putting their business out there. And the more information that she provides, people don't understand this, man. She is putting her life in jeopardy. She's putting her life in danger. She really is, man. So be careful, young lady.
They just arrested the head of the chemistry department at Harvard.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But wasn't that, didn't they think that guy was in connection with some weaponized, what's that
So the virus
article?
thing?
Yeah.
No,
Am I thinking of something else?
There was an article linking some Canadian researchers to the
That's
virus.
right. That's what it
no,
was.
but this was different. The head of the chemistry department at Harvard was found to have lied about receiving money from the Chinese government.
Wow.
So there's this program called the 1,000 Talents program in China. Basically, they're offering.
Did she say 1,000 times or 1,000 towns? Okay, I need to hear that again, because she said there's a program in China called 1,000 Times Program or 1,000 Towns.
The chemistry department at Harvard was found to have lied about receiving money from the Chinese government. So there's this program called the 1,000 Talents
1,000 Talents
program in China. Basically, they're offering a lot of money. The New York Times did a really good expose on this. They basically offer money to like academics, because it kind of sucks to be one here in the sense of like you're not paid that well,
Right.
but China's dangling like a lot more money and say, okay, if you do research here in China, there's going to be like less bureaucracy. So that's their way to lure these people in. Right?
So he was hiding the fact that he was
He was
getting
hiding-
income from them?
correct.
How was he
Wow.
hiding it?
He didn't report it.
Oh.
And
But he put it in the bank anyway?
right, and so at the end of the day, when there's a relationship there, China owns your research,
Right.
and if you're researching something sensitive, that's a big issue.
Wow, get out of here, man. All right, so Pandora's box is opening, and you got it's at least it's opening for me. A lot of you probably already know. Like Mooseville 6969 says he's been following the crazy stuff since before Trump, and he listens to a lot and watched Alex Jones a bunch, and the stuff he said is finally coming to light. How does it make you feel to know that someone that you looked up to, you listened to, you supported, whenever they were speaking out about a thing, people just brushed it off as a crazy conspiracy theory and then shut them down? Then to just be in today's time and seeing those conspiracy theories actually being fact. How does that make you feel? It's crazy, man. I'm looking forward to hearing more. I'm hearing more, man. I'm not going to stop looking for truth. But y'all can't condemn me or punish me for starting to speak the truth once I hear it. Once I hear the truth, I'm gonna speak it. I'm gonna speak it. So don't be upset if Van start talking too much. Van is doing too much. He's supposed to be reacting. He's doing too much talking. Yeah, I'm gonna do a whole lot of talking, because the more I learn, the more I'm gonna want to teach. That's the thing. If it's garbage, if it's something that's garbage that I've learned that I don't think will do us any good, I will be quiet about it. But if I think that you deserve to know the information that I'm now learning, then yeah, I'm gonna put it back out there. But again, I go back to my original point. If there's something I'm not supposed to talk about, y'all need to let me know that, man. Because I do see the subtle hush-hush of certain things, right? Something like this whole Twitter thing with the laptop that I'm now finding out about. This is wild, man. I do want to hear y'all sound off. Let me know whatever y'all want me to know in the comments.